All right. So welcome to the OpenExO Experience. This is the November crowning event and Ask Us Anything question. Next slide. The agenda, we'll do welcome and stats, winners of November. We'll talk about the bosses and what they did. You can ask us anything and we'll talk about a little bit about what's coming next. How it was. So this is from beta test to now. So 5 months worth of work. Look at this. From 200 players to 561, from 4,000 actions taken to 32,000 actions taken. I thought that was cool. From 17.5 thousand to 408K, what, 17.5K to 408K minutes played? Okay, that makes sense. The comma threw me off. 285 badges earned to 780, 48 bugs to 134, and then 355 quests to 2,252. So we've done a lot, and it's really a remarkable growth phase, because when we did the first 3 versions of this type of game, we only had 100 or 2 people playing at a time, and so we only got so far, even though it was great at the time because we were doubling in the engagement. But look at what we've done. I think we've come a long way, and this is really commendable. So thank all of you for participating and making this happen with us. Next slide. So 64,000 views total, 563 players, 411 actually got through the onboarding. If you look in the center, you can see how many people are currently playing in each of the tiers. It's a little less up top because not everybody converts to Premium and Pro, so we get a little fewer activity there. On the left at the bottom, you'll see 237 free users, 23 basic, 91 Premium, and 60 Pro. And then you'll get to see a little bit on those charts. The green chart and the blue chart are the challenge names, the ones that were most popular or most used, and then the actions taken. Next slide. And the winners for this monthly tier competition on the free is Thinker, Fractal and Donna Murdoch. So congratulations to these winners. You'll each win an NFT of the EXO Heroes. You'll get randomly chosen. I don't think they're going to let you choose at this point unless we figure out a gamified way of delivering those in the end. Those are going to launch early in the year. Next slide. Basic. We didn't have very many people playing Basic, so Joshua once again wins. Mike and Mr. Modernization. I think those are the 3 that won last month too, with very little effort. So this is where, we could have had some new faces join the pool. Didn't actually pull that off for this particular tier. Let's go to Premium. All right. Thiago, Rob, and Pascalology. I like that. Anyway, good to have these winners on board. Each of you wins an NFT for the EXO Heroes, and you get a vote on how to use them. And then if you go to Pro, dun, dun, dun. Aha! Look who retained the #1 spot. Oh, Captain Smith, you got knocked off at the very last moment. But Stefano, Captain Smith, and Michael, you guys have been on top forever. And it's like, this has been the most fun and friendly competition all along. So I appreciate all of your good sportsmanship and how you've played the game and showing up and doing such a great job. So thank you all. You all get NFTs of the EXO Heroes plus a vote. These are just some samples of what those cards will look like. Again, they're launching early in 2024. Next slide. And 6 bosses. Do you want to talk about the bosses, Fabrizio?
Yeah, sorry, I had trouble with camera before. I don't know why, but Zoom doesn't like me, so it's reciprocal. That's good. It's good. Yeah, so far we had 6 bosses. As you know, we get every 2 weeks, and we onboarded 63 players in the what we call arena. Let's say half of them won, half of them lose, and as you can see, the stats are in the medium. So free time, they won against the boss. Free time, boss escaped. So this is what we have so far, and it was nice. I hope we will have the opportunity to use the boss in the future again, but it was fun at least to see people playing, giving feedback. So it was good.
Awesome. All right. We appreciate your being here. We will stay open for a couple more weeks, but this is the official year end for this particular season. So we'll stay open. We'll have a couple of opportunities for you to exchange your XP points, your NFTs. We'll work out what we're going to be doing to launch those NFTs next year, give you a little insight into that game plan. So for the next 2 weeks, we'll still be active and in there, but we are officially ending this season. So this has been a very fun experience. I appreciate all of you that have joined in, and we're open to suggestions for what's next. And we're also talking about moving into the metaverse for a different version of something like this. And so we've got a space that we're building out. We probably will be able to show that within the week, maybe on Monday's working AI group, we'll be able to show that, and then we'll take it to another level from there. So at this point, here's the Ask Us Anything segment. Anybody have any questions?
Okay. I don't have any questions. I just wanted to really congratulate you to the effort and to all the work. I think I've been part, at least a little bit part of the discussions, and it's amazing how you stood together. And so I appreciate what you guys did. Really, I think it was good for us. And by the way, just a little comment: the competition with Stefano and Captain Smith was not friendly at all. So. So anyway, no, thank you very much. I think you did a great effort, and I think we should appreciate that too.
Thank you so much. And it takes a village, we couldn't have done it without you. So it's kind of, we're all in this. So thank all of us. Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. So since this is my first time here, and you might all be very familiar with this game or this approach, I was wondering, is there an orientation place to go to find out the background of the game and the purpose and how it's structured and how to play and stuff like that?
Yeah, actually, that's a very interesting concept. We are doing a year-end report, and we're going to compile the data for this particular version of the game in great detail. So you'll get a lot of that. But what we're also doing is offering, if you could show that last slide with the ExO Angels offerings on it, we're also offering a course where we bring the gamification technique into the conversation about how you or anybody else could apply it to your business. So we've got these 4 offerings, and in the bottom left is an entrepreneurs or small business version of a mini sprint. And this is the affordable version where we do group coaching. And so we talk about what gamification means, how you bring it into a practice, how you might become an exponential organization or that of your client. It could be either you or a client, and take that business to another level. So this will be helping productize your offer and giving you legs to take something like this into your own or a client's business with you.
Right. I understand like how to use it, but I'm looking for like why would one play this game? What is the purpose?
Okay, yeah. The orientation in the game is about bringing people onto the OpenExO platform. And so what we wanted to do is onboard them to get them to both the foundations coursework and to start to utilize the platform in the way that a Web3 platform can be. And that is to be social, to meet and greet, to engage with people in conversations, get them over to the Discord channel, all that sort of thing. And then we went into the detail in the other levels, basic, premium, and pro, to get people to apply the EXO attributes to their businesses and the version 2.0 book.
Okay, so if I'm already like a basic member of EXO, do I get access to play this? And
yes, you can get access to play it. Let me see if I can grab the link, unless somebody can share it soonest. Experience.openexo.com. Oops, helps to put the OpenExO in there. Yeah, so you'll have a couple weeks to play and start to earn some points and all these goodies. And it's actually a good step-by-step. It's for a lot of new people, it's the step-by-step that everybody asks for, because in these networking calls and in these introductory calls, we keep getting people say, oh, where do I start? There are so many things to do. And it was such a natural thing to put the game into that role. It became that stepping stone to get from one place to another.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, use it as much as you can, enjoy it. I don't know if we can keep a version of it open without the maintenance. Might be a little difficult, but we're kind of shooting for December 15th, but
oh no, that's good to know. I wasn't aware that there was a cutoff date. So
yeah,
unfortunately, it's the end of the term for me. So this is not
a good time.
Not a good time. But this is not related at all to the certifications or the certification process. This is just
it's a vehicle to get you to them, but it is not part of the certification. We do have the orientation, we give you some scores and points, but then it doesn't cover the certification itself. But the certifications are also one of the things that we promote within the game itself.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So actually, OpenExO was a client of ours, and so we built this game with them. It was a done with you kind of project.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And now they're going to be taking it and putting things like it, something like this, not the same version of the game, but questions and answers.
More like a general framework.
Yeah, it'll be in the Web3 platform.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Hey, Tiago.
Yeah, I can.
You missed your winning. We announced you.
Hello, thank you. Sorry for
you want another NFT.
Some technical issues here. I was here, but I could not get in.
Yeah.
I kept letting you in and it kept bouncing back off for some reason.
Hans,
you were saying something.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say that both doing the foundation and the I would say the EXO experience has been and there me a lot of insight in the EXO 2.0 and also the community. So that has been an asset in the courses that I've been attending. Awesome. So even though it's not directly connected, there is definitely a connection, I would say.
Right. Yeah, it was all, it's kind of that whole idea of how the community can help support. And so, yes, OpenExO has a marketing department, and yes, they have a certification department, learning hub. But what we were able to do is kind of bring 3 or 4 of their divisions of the company together and say, this is a model way for community to actually participate and take action and become more seasoned in what the offerings are, because every department has their way of saying, oh, this is how you do mine and this is how you do mine, but then nobody was looking at the whole thing. So we kind of hopefully brought more of that weaving and, threading the different aspects of the company together in one place. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? What's next?
And
Dale,
Dale,
Go ahead.
Dale, I was just going to add to that. I mean, I know you, like you said, it's a busy time for you, but even if you got in there and just go through some of the beginning basics, it'll give you a better idea of how we all ended up here. I mean, in other words, it's, when I first come on board, that was the thing, is it brought me in and kind of gives you guidance of where to go in the community, how to apply the different things and stuff. So you'll at least get a concept and see how it worked. And I think you'll be amazed. These folks put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that, Jason. I appreciate it.
It's great fun too. Experimenting. This was a great big experiment, and we got to try over and over and over. So
that's the whole point of gaming, is it?
Exactly.
It's great. Great to see it in action.
Yeah.
It's also probably a harbinger of a whole new methodology coming into play in a bigger way as far as learning and applications go.
Yeah, so if you look at Yukai Chow, he's been doing quite a few posts lately about the gamification methodology, which is what we based the game on, was a lot of Octalysis core drivers and that sort of thing, game techniques,
right,
and moving those through the system. And you will see that a lot more in corporations going forward, because community is becoming the driving force that makes a company successful. So driving community engagement is number uno on this particular platform.
Yeah, so you mentioned that the XPs would, the platform would be open a few more weeks, and there was some utilization of XPs.
Yes, we're going to give you some options to cash in on your XPs earned. because they aren't spent in the marketplace. Bye, Michael. Good to see you. Congratulations. Ending on a high note. Yeah, we're going to trade in the XPs. I think last year we either traded them for EXOS tokens or we gave access to something. Maybe it was one of the tiers of the platform or something. We'll come up with something, or NFTs too. The NFTs, we still don't know how to monetize.
Level, like to become the next level on the program of the OpenExO. Maybe it's a good option.
Yeah. Well, that could be interesting. What other ways? I want your ideas. What would you like to turn in your XPs toward?
$24 karat gold. I mean, you know.
Well, they're calling Bitcoin the new gold. We will be moving the token to another platform, so that will be moving probably Q1. I know that the contracts have been signed, so we will be moving to the Casper network. So the EXOS tokens will be moved over onto that platform, and that is a public platform. It doesn't make us liquid at first, but we will have a plan to get that into action, and that will come out probably early in the year. So hang on to those EXOS unless you can spend them on talent, and I think the marketplace is also going to go away, so we're evolving the platform. So different ways of utilizing these tokens. You could still do peer-to-peer transactions. I've done a couple of privates where I do a peer-to-peer transaction where they actually buy some to invest. We used to sell them to investment facilities, but we can't publicly advertise such a thing because of regulatory advertising law, etc. But peer-to-peer can still be done. So one-on-ones. The ExO Angels has actually given grants and funded some other projects with EXOS tokens. And right now we're actually selling book chapters and giving tokens for the people that can be part of this book. It's a chapter book where you can pay to be in the book. You can get some marketing muscle, you get some tokens, you get some other like network marketing that goes on with OpenExO, with Abundance 360 community, with the Singularity University. So all of that is in the EXO book link here. It's another one of ExO Angels offerings. So if you can earn some EXOs by doing that too. What's this, Stefano? Metal.
It's a GIF with Matley. You know Matley? No?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I love him.
Yes, that's cute.
He really represents you.
Thank you, them. I love you too. I love you too.
Awesome. Any other?
So can we connect the Casper wallet, or do we have to connect the?
It's not a done deal yet. So you're still in the core wallet or the Electrum wallet until that conversion happens, and then they'll go through an entire how-to once that becomes available. But right now we're still collecting in core and or Electrum wallets. And the core wallets is the one where you can stake. If you've got a few thousand tokens, you can stake that and you can earn some every week or in some cases every day.
Yeah, I'll gladly trade some XPs on some insight in this.
Okay. Yes. And we hope to have, the tutorials and all from the Casper group because they're actually very well organized. They are an enterprise blockchain though, so it might be a little harder for small businesses to find their footing, but that's one of the goals, is that we build out whatever we can to help take those steps for those of us that don't have billions in our budgets at the moment. Other questions? Comments, playful stuff. Anybody interested in DAOs and decentralized governance and all those fun things, or is that down the road for you?
As relevant as ever.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Any other questions? What do you see the future of gamification in businesses, in exponential organization businesses specifically? How would you like to see this sort of take another step or another positive effect?
So do these games include like skill challenges or ways of networking to address people's needs and strengths?
Yeah.
In terms of, finding people who do X.
Yeah, some of the quests would either put you in the room with somebody who was near you or somebody that was in a similar industry than you. We got you, they put people in the feeds for the insight articles that have been written. We put you into the circles, which are now going to go away. That was sort of the forum area where you could discuss things amongst yourselves. Maybe in the end, we'll put a couple of last living links that will take you to either the metaverse or the Web3 or, one or two or three other places where you can still find ways to be. We actually have quite a library. So anybody that submitted their favorite business resources, their favorite entrepreneurial resources, those are all there for you to look through and build into your own library. You could click on who you wanted to follow because they're in similar organizations. So all of that is in there. I'm kind of thinking we can maybe keep it open just so people can peruse, or we could do a video. Maybe we could do the video of all of our winners. Oh, that would be interesting. And what they went through to do some of these quests and why those quests stood out for some reason.
Right. Because I see that as being one possible really good application for this, when you're doing implementations. The other thing that I was curious about is, what have you learned works really well in terms of the gamification thing? What really stands out as, key successes of this approach? Yeah.
Anybody want to jump in on that one? Because we all got to vote on those sorts of things.
Great.
Jason, go ahead.
Well, and I'll give you one real live example is Dale, when I first come in, of course, it introduced us to Discord. And of course, I saw Discord and I use it. So I jumped in and I'm a little different. I was kind of like a squirrel, but by being there, one of the challenges is doing a one-to-one. So I reached out and that was how I met Sasha for the first time. She happened to be the one that was available at that time. And she introduced herself, told me a little bit about what EXO was and what the Angels were. That led me to meeting Fabrizio. That led me, and then I was on the other end of the road. Captain Smith came in and he's like, "Hey, I need somebody to do a one-to-one." We met. He was actually on the coast of Norway selling, and so we talked. I watched Katrina, who admittedly said, "Hey, I'm not used to this. I'm an engineer brain, and I'm stepping out of my norm." And now she's just like helping everybody and doing all kinds of fun things. So, it brings, and I sometimes it's hard because people hear gamification, especially a CEO or whatever, and they're like, well, I don't want my employees playing games. So it's trying to figure out how to get them to realize that this causes people to participate and learn to do things that they probably wouldn't do otherwise.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sasha made a good comment too in the chat on the gamification. People don't really understand it.
Yep. Right. No, and the problem is that often they are kind of get thrown off in the totally wrong direction when they hear the game part of it. And it was, I guess, it was enhanced with the I like found the bosses, real cool, but that kind of added to that game part of it. I think that people start thinking about so motivated learning experience. I don't know, it's not easy. Or motivational learning experiences. I don't have a better word for it, but yeah, it is a challenge. We'll see in this.
We'll discover it.
Yeah, and I was in Yukai Chao's AMA earlier this week, and we asked the same question of him. How do you convince an organization at a grand scale, multi-million or billion-dollar company, who's trying to motivate their employees to achieve more or do more, or their customers. And we asked about the name gamification. He says it's double-edged sword. Sometimes people are attracted to it because they know that it will take them to another engagement level, and then others would be turned off by it. So he goes by, the core drivers of game behavior or human behavior, and changing, the mindset of what your purpose is and getting behind some of these things. So go a lot into the core drivers. Fabrizio and Stefano, the Octalysis framework way better than I do. So could you maybe make some comments on the difference between maybe the three things you mentioned, Fabrizio, game theory versus serious gaming versus gamification?
I wanted to also welcome Dr. Thomas and Rob. I apologize, Dr. Thomas. I probably had you in the waiting room for a few seconds because I was making a note on something and didn't see you waiting there.
Welcome.
Hello.
Fabrizio?
I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, the big, I'm sure most of the people here already know that. So when you talk about game theory, you talk basically about the relationship between independent players. Even if we players, sometimes it's not referring to a game, but it's referred to economy. It's referred to competitors in a predefined environment. And there's a lot of great books, there's a lot of economical theory behind it. And it's the same mechanism behind the most of the blockchain, generational path, and also behind some routing information, also for normal streets, not only for IT. Plus, I'm sure most of you knows the easiest possible way to represent it, what we call zero-sum games. That's a kind of, how can I say, theory of when you compete, sometimes you risk to lose everything, or one will win, the other lose, etc. So it's more economical stuff. Then serious game means basically it's a full game with the purpose of teaching something. It could be a new habit, it could be a new way to approach school. For example, if you're thinking about serious game, one of the most famous, I think it's classcraft, sorry. That's a very good serious game when you're thinking about how you can use the role-play games idea into education, for example. While gamification means basically use all the interest approach that the game market developed over the year into a business context. So take some of these game techniques and use into the business context. And it's very interesting because at least the game market find a way to engage people even without an MTP, even without a real reason, but they create a very interesting engagement mechanism. So if you look at the number of hours people spend playing some games,